Hello and welcome to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to dive deep, minute by minute, into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's World of Dune. I'm one of your hosts, John.
And I'm Zach.
And we are back. We are talking about minute 121 through 122 of Dune Part 2. Yesterday we left off with Paul making his way through the corridor of anger.
Yeah.
And he has approached his veiled mother, the Reverend Mother, Jessica.
Yeah. She's standing up on the platform looking like a suburban family's Thursday night dinner. Just Chinese takeout boxes everywhere.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? What the fuck? Yes. We see the veiled Reverend Mother, Jessica, and our camera is zooming in ever closer to Jacqueline West's beautiful work on this costume design before we hard cut to a very dark, very large cavern.
Huge cavern.
I don't think I can put into words how large this cavern is.
It's cavernous.
One could say that. Yes.
I think so.
I think the best way to describe it is like it's just a open air cave with like pockets to the surface.
Yeah. It's like the biggest convention hall that you've ever seen.
No,
but
it's
damper.
It's like
It's massive. There's millions of people inside this.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
I was going to say there's like several American football stadiums worth of people and like space that's being used up in here.
Yeah. And they are packed in there.
Yeah. Standing room, kneeling room only.
Yeah. And John, this is where the real serious prayer is happening.
Yeah.
Like people outside waiting to get in, they were doing their thing, but these people are kneeling down. They are doing their hand gestures. There's a chant in the far off of the room, and then it's like a call and response thing that they're doing. Cool as hell.
Yep.
And after we get this wide shot, which is really where you start to see how massive it is, in the pockets of light and how just small the people are. We see kind of in the, well, I guess that's a question I had for you, is like, do you think this little circle clear area, is that in the middle of this?
I think it's in the very middle of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means what we are seeing and all the things that we described,
we're seeing
only
half.
It's only half of it.
Yeah. Probably.
Oh, it's insane. But there's this small clearing in the middle where a handful of people are within this circle, and it's
also kneeling and praying and everything.
Also kneeling and praying for sure.
I happen to have some numbers of people in this circle. If you're so
Good.
interested,
I would love, because I tried to count and I didn't get a good count. So
by my count, there are 34 people and 5 stones, which makes me curious as to whether those stones are meant to be indicators that there are missing people, or that there may not be a nabe of that specific tribe or anything like that. But this is very clearly like the leadership ring circle area of this underground cavern, which
right.
I have some notes on this cavern from Denis.
Okay.
Through Art and Soul. Denis describes this scene as tens of thousands of Fremen sitting in silence. I would challenge Denis on that and say it is most likely millions.
Yeah.
But, we all can, have our own interpretation of what's going on here. This is a super huge area, and then this ring in the middle is it's essentially like the speaking platform for all of the Nabe, the leaders of all of the tribes.
Yeah, it's their pulpit, basically.
Yeah. I have some actual metrics around this pulpit to help put some scale to the scene as we're watching it. From the concept art, it is 75 feet in diameter for the larger ring. Okay. And then the smaller ring inside of it is 38 feet in diameter.
That's
And
not
then
nothing.
as far as height is concerned, it's a tapered edge up towards the middle from 0 to 10 inches tall.
So it's just a 10-inch rise.
It's a 10-inch rise, and that's it.
It looks a lot bigger than a 10-inch rise on film.
I also 1000% agree.
Because sorry to bring up baseball again, but how tall is a pitcher's mound? It's like what, a 6-inch rise or something like that?
I don't know. As much as I love baseball, I don't know the MLB's regulations on the pitcher's mound and how tall it has to be.
1 second. The regulation pitcher's mound in professional, high school, and college baseball is 10 inches high above the home plate.
Okay.
So they're saying that the same rise that a pitcher's mound has from home plate is what we're seeing here.
I don't believe it.
Art and soul, I'm sorry.
Well,
This
hold on.
might be one of the handful of times I've disagreed.
In fairness, concept art.
What do you mean?
Concept art isn't exact specifications.
Okay, so the concept art said it was 10 inches up.
Yes.
Okay, because later on in the week, what we'll see is a good contrasting shot. It's actually our final shot of this week, is a good contrasting shot between Stilgar standing at the bottom and Paul at the top.
Yeah, and he's very clearly looking up at Paul.
Yeah, and like Stilgar's like knee height to Paul.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right, well, they clearly gave it a larger rise for the actual film, which is a good call in my book.
So that 10-inch rise is for the outer ring. The inner ring, they don't give specific height dimensions for.
Okay.
That makes more sense then.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a very small image in Art and Soul. Like they really have it like crammed down to like be super small. But yeah.
Speaking of Stilgar.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
I have an interesting fact as well about this assembly chamber. Originally, in the very early stages of concept art for Dune Part 1, this assembly chamber was established as like one of the core pieces to kind of identify Fremen infrastructure and everything. It was not a round ring like we see here, but more like an actual throne, where it was kind of like a rectangular, or maybe not a rectangular, more like a rhombus shaped wall with a throne in front of it. And then there's space on the side for like other knaves or Fedaykin or other Fremen to stand next to this throne. And there's like a little ramp that goes up towards the throne itself. Spoilers for later on in the movie, very similar to the structure of the throne in Shaddam's tent on Arrakis.
I'm glad they didn't go with that.
Yeah.
Because
I
that
really
feels
like
so,
the round speaker's circle.
Yeah, because everyone is equal at that point.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
We are all equal in the siege, men and women alike. Yeah.
Yeah, the throne does not feel very Fremen-y.
No. It feels very Paul is just taking ownership of everything.
Sure.
But no, that's not a Fremen design.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying very early concept art for Part 1 that just kind of like evolved and made its way into Part 2.
Good.
Which, as we've seen from earlier stuff, has happened a few times in this movie. The way Vladimir treated his attendants and the shot of them just like bloodied against the wall.
Yeah.
And everything with Rabin and the attendants outside of the room during that sequence, all being shot for Part 1 and then cut into Part 2. Mm-hmm. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good evolution. So we cut to Stilgar.
Yep.
And still recovering from his injuries. We see his bloodied up cheek.
Yep.
And he is deep in prayer right now.
Oh, he's lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
He's completely.
He is not on this plane, feels like.
Real quick, in addition to his bloodied up cheek and his like shawl that he's wearing, he's got the stupidest looking like paper mache hat on.
Like it's cloth, but it does look dumb.
But it's not though, because it's like rigid.
Well, it's got a little like curl at the beginning of it. Okay.
It's the most Lynch costume looking piece of anything from this entire movie.
It reminded me of the if you remember from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the first season when they're in the swamp.
Yeah, those leaf hats.
The leaf hats that the swamp benders are wearing. That's exactly.
They're not swamp benders.
Sorry, they're water benders that live in the swamp. Sorry.
Yeah, fucking get it right.
My bad.
Don't fuck with Atla fans.
Listen. I'm not. I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, you didn't say that the M. Night Shyamalan movie was a good one.
I would never say that on a podcast.
Certainly never into a microphone that is recording.
Absolutely not. Now, what I say and feel in my personal life is my choice.
For the record, we both think it's a horrible fucking movie.
It was a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
Do you know where they are?
Please don't add us.
Do you know where they are on the newest like live action one?
Don't care.
Okay.
I am firmly in the as it was perfect. Why are we doing this camp?
I am 90% with you, but I looked up the casting or when they announced the casting, and I was like, okay, this could be good.
It could be.
I'd give it a watch.
But also, I thought that Cowboy Bebop live action would have been great, and it was not. So,
I don't know what that is, but okay. I get what you're saying.
Cowboy Bebop is probably one of the very what?
Is that a Western?
No, it's an anime, and I think it's one that you would actually really enjoy.
Is it an anime Western? Because that would be kind of fun.
It's kind of like a space Western, but also jazz.
Okay, well.
But not like jazz, but like jazz.
I mean, jazz can be anything. You've listened to H. John Benjamin's jazz album titled "I Can't Play Piano."
If you haven't listened to H. John Benjamin's jazz album, go listen to it. It's fucking hilarious.
H. John Benjamin, of course, the voice of Bob from Bob's Burgers.
And Archer.
And Archer and 1.5 million other voices.
Yeah.
Released a jazz album called John Can't Play Piano or something like that.
Yeah.
And where it's absolutely true. He cannot play piano, but he's got this great group behind him.
He hired
playing.
this big band to basically cover his ass while he just sits there and fucking like mashes on a keyboard.
Yeah. And he somehow gets better as the album goes on.
Jazz.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's not the jazz minute.
No.
It's Dune minute. So besides Stilgar, Chani rushes up and she is fucking panicking.
She's pissed.
She's pissed. She's panicking. She's just like, whatever. And she goes, "We must talk. Stilgar, you can stop this. You have the power to stop this."
And he's not listening at all.
Does not even acknowledge her. But who does acknowledge her is this like misogynistic librarian beside them.
He's another Nabe.
He's another Nabe, yes. But the words out of his mouth are, "Northern woman, you're not allowed to speak inside the circle. If you want to speak, you know what you must do." He just wants someone to murk Stilgar so bad.
I don't think he wants someone to murk Stilgar. I think he's a religious fundamentalist from the South who's very beholden to tradition.
Follow the rules. If you want to talk, kill him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chani gives no mind to this person.
Yeah.
And goes back to pleading with Stilgar.
And he this other Nabe immediately like turns and does the like two fingers like come here to to what I in my notes called the bouncers.
Yeah, I just said random Fedaykin that are around. Yeah, and like 3 men start to approach her, and she
gives them daggers for eyes too.
This is why you have a Zendaya in your film, because of these looks that she's about to give. In my notes, I said she shoots Chris knives at them. She doesn't. I didn't say daggers. I said Chris knives.
Sure.
She's just glaring up at them, and she gives Stilgar, who again has not acknowledged her presence at all, Another glaring look, and then she just kind of goes, "Rah!"
Yeah.
and leaves.
Stomps off.
Yeah.
And on her way out, she's, leaving the center circle, kind of stomping off. After about maybe 30-ish feet or so, she turns around and yells out to the crowd, "This prophecy is how they enslave us, how they dominate." And she just gets yoinked the fuck down. And
Now, was this a laugh
unintentional laugh line,
Yeah.
I think. Or intentional laugh line without, like, putting in, like,
a brief moment of levity in this very serious scene.
very heavy, like,
Yeah.
last 10 minutes plus the next rest of the movie, honestly.
Yeah. And who would be the person to pull her down?
Gurney Halleck.
Gurney Halleck, who still looks a little bit confused, but he's just like rolling
And is
with it.
still hideous.
And
Gurney Halleck looks good in a shawl.
yeah, no, he looks great.
Hides his ugly face.
So we get a conversation. I think we should just get the full conversation out because I have a few things to say about this.
This prophecy is how they enslave us, how they dominate. You'll get yourself in trouble. This is none of your business. Quoting from Gurney Halleck specifically. Rabban Harkonnen himself killed my family and gave me this scar to remember it by. This is all of my business. And then horns blare from behind Chani and Gurney, and our minute ends right there.
Okay,
So-
let's talk about this.
Yeah. We got all of 3 seconds of Gurney's entire backstory,
Yes. Okay, so first point.
which we talked about very heavily in our Dune Part 1 coverage.
We did.
Go back and listen to that because we talked in full depth about just how brutal the Harkonnens were to Gurney's family.
We did. And he basically gave us the cliff notes right here.
Yeah. This is the one line, just easiest way to describe.
Hey, Chat GPT, give me a summary of Gurney Halleck's life in 1 or 2 sentences. And this is what it would spit out.
Yeah. And then you would immediately destroy your machine.
Yes. Or the Butlerians would come around and murk you out.
Yeah.
So that line that he says, Rabban Harkonnen gave himself killed my family. He gave me the scar to remember him by. This is all of my business. Aside from the "this is all of my business" line, that brief background was actually supposed to be in part 1.
That does not surprise me.
Could you care to take a guess where it would have been?
With how part 1 was cut and edited, it would make most sense to have put this in the they're not human, they're brutal.
Ding, ding, ding! Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's exactly where it should have been, and it was there in the script. So I didn't go back and do this, but I want to, after we record, go back and look at that scene and see if we actually see Gurney talking at the end of that phrase, because it was just tacked on to the last couple lines of him talking to Paul at the during that fight scene. So if they cut away to Paul as Gurney was finishing up, in my head that means they did film it the entire way through. They just cut that audio part out.
Maybe.
And repurposed it for later, or just said, we're going to save this line.
Give me a fucking extended Dune. Fuck.
Now that's trivia. Here's a beef. Rabban Harkonnen. Sorry. Rabban Harkonnen?
You would think that Gurney Halleck, of all people, would know that his name is Glosu Rabban.
Which, yes. Now that prompted me to do basically a full search of the scripts.
Before you dive in, makes me curious if it's one of those like situations where it's like you just take the royal name.
Let's hold off on headcanon just for a second.
Okay.
In both scripts for part 1 and part 2, Rabban has always been Rabban Harkonnen. That is a categorical change of canon that the movies have done, which I'm frankly surprised we have not caught on until now.
I don't.
No,
Has he
Glassell
ever?
is never mentioned in the scripts.
No, and that's fine. But like the Glossu Raban thing, I think would be too confusing for other people that aren't following. And like Harkonnens are Harkonnens in Denis Dune.
Right.
And what makes me curious is, at any point, is Raban ever referred to as Raban Harkonnen?
Not out loud, but it is in the script.
Okay. So this is the first time then in part 1 and 2 that he's called Raban Harkonnen.
As far as I could tell, yes. We get a fair number of beast Rabans, and we get just Raban, but we don't get a Raban Harkonnen.
Okay.
Now, I pulled this from the Dune Wiki. Shout out to the editors of the Dune Wiki.
Shout out.
They say his first name of Glossu is only stated in the original novel's appendix and never in the narrative itself.
Okay.
Because of this, and Gurney referring to him as Raban Harkonnen while speaking with Chani in the book's screen adaptations, it is either implying or, in the case of Dune Part 2, explicitly stating Raban as his given name rather than his surname.
That makes sense.
Yep. This consequentially downplays his unfavored status. Raban being the surname of his mother's family after his father cut ties with the Harkonnens, thus being denied that surname. So, if you take this and marry it back to the thing that we've said multiple times on the show, that Baron Vladimir just does things to piss people off.
Yeah.
This kind of fits in with that. He's robbing him of heritage, basically, at this point, and is just adding insult to injury by saying, hey, you know that...
You are a Harkonnen, motherfucker.
You're a Harkonnen, but also that last name that it's your family name, your mother's family name, that's going to be your first name now. So you're not going to forget, but you're always going to remember that you're a Harkonnen.
Okay. I don't hate that at all.
I think it fits.
Yeah.
I think it fits in with the overall themes.
Counterpoint. Mm-hmm. Giving him the last name Harkonnen does legitimize him to the same degree that Fade Rotha is legitimized.
Correct.
However.
And that's
and
the
we
downside.
we know that Vladimir does not like Raban in the way that he likes Fade Rotha.
Yeah.
In all the ways that he likes Fade Rotha.
That's a little bit of a negative side of this theory, but what can you do?
Let us know what you think.
Yeah,
genuinely curious. Like, where do you all land on this? Because I'd be interested to hear what other people have to think about that.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a nuance when I think, and
call up Martin.
Well, I think when we were talking with Martin last week, we kind of laid heavily on there are a lot of parts of this story, especially right now in part 2, that are leaving very little room for interpretation.
Yeah.
And for, fan discourse and our own interpretations of things. So this is one where I think we can still have some conversation around it.
All right. Well, that's a theory that I can actually get behind completely. And it makes sense.
But man, did my ears ring when I heard Raban Harkonnen right now. I was like, that ain't right.
Hold on a second.
I had to go look into it. And while it may not be strictly canon, the book is being internally consistent. The movies are being internally consistent.
Yep.
And we still give them props for that.
I don't like that Gurney Halleck's scar is not stained.
Oh, yeah, like a ink blot across.
We've talked about that already, but this is the one time that they have explicitly pointed out his scar.
Yeah.
And its origin, and it's not stained, and it's like, come on.
We've even seen the ink fine whip.
And I understand that having to do that makeup for Josh Brolin every time he's shooting over 2 movies would be annoying, but I feel like you could just hit them with an airbrush pretty quick. Call it a day.
Yeah. Just give him like an airbrush T-shirt, like you get in Panama
One
City,
of those
Florida.
really shitty airbrush T-shirts, though, from like,
Panama City in '96.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I got one.
I spent years in the fighting pits of Gaiety Prime, and all I got was this stupid T-shirt, and a dead sister,
Oh,
and a fucking big ass scar on my face, and fealty to a duke.
there you go. Well, you take the good with the bad. So, yes, like you said, we get a horn blast, and the doors kind of open up, and they behind them, and they all.
There's no doors. It's just a
Oh, sorry.
yeah. It's
Someone starts to enter.
yeah
In.
from the undefined size cavern that's
Right.
massive.
And as they are about to turn to look, that's where our minute ends.
Yeah.
So, man, good minute. I know we don't rate individual minutes, but good minute.
I think this week is good minute.
Yeah. This week is good minute.
Good soup.
Me, John, me say good minute.
Me say word.
Like I said, I'm saving up some book notes for later in the week, so nothing else from me. Anything else from Art and Soul pertaining to this one?
No, I think this week is just going to be as we're going through talking about it. I'm going to have some stuff for later, but other than that one other thing that I wanted to talk about for later this week, that's all of our fun stuff from Art and Soul that I can't share because this isn't a video podcast.
Thank God.
Nope. Not going to do that. Not going to do the video podcast. Editing audio is enough work.
I've been cursed with Garrison Keeler face, so no video podcast for me.
I just don't want to have to worry about how I physically present myself when we do this.
Fair.
As I'm currently under like blankets in a sweater, just like a complete slob. Anyways, that's it for this minute. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, you can find the Dune Minute online. We are on Blue Sky at duneminute.com, and you can email duneminute@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch with us that way. We'll be back with a Wednesday episode soon.
All right, see you then.